With retirement at hand, our hero now begins on a journey of discovery, uncovering new worlds, new possibilities, new adventures to fill his days. Quickly progressing from pleasure flights to flight instruction, Ray finds himself working as a charter captain for romantic love flights over the city. Always looking to make a buck, his business development roots serve him well in his life beyond LPK.
Oh, that was wonderful! Thank you! Oh, what a great flight! What a wonderful pilot! The barrel rolls were just great. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Back in the good old days when Ray was a minor pup as a pilot, he was flying puddle jumpers. Why, we knew he had great potential someday. He'd soar like an eagle, or was it like a turkey? Well, whatever it was, he got off the ground quite well, but he made Super Command pilot, and we were so proud of him. And of course, by the time he got those pilot's ratings, he has more rank than Neil Armstrong has, if you can believe that. And every time we see him, we have to give him a big salute, by gosh, and wish him well, and hope he does well.
As an industrious retiree with time on his hands and a love of people, Ray seeks out a fulfilling position where he can bring a sense of joy to the mundane Walmart shopping experience and give back to the community that has been so good to him.
The job is getting to know people and accommodating people and their needs, and have a smiling face and show enthusiasm to the customer and treat the customer with respect and be a good show and make them feel that they're at home.
Glad to have you as a part of the team.
Line 2, automotive, line 2.
How do you like that, Ray?
Welcome to Walmart. Hope you find everything you need today. Thank you. Thank you for shopping with us.
Hi Ray, how are you? Nice to meet you. I understand you're going to get people here with us. So you're retiring from LPK? Been there for about 15 years? Wow. Then this job might be a little bit different than what you're used to doing at LPK. Do you think you'll be able to handle it? All right. Thanks a lot, Ray.
Always one to roll up his sleeves and get his hands dirty, Ray leads his fellow team members by example, volunteering for some of the less than glamorous duties, which earns him immediate notice by senior Walmart management. With an employee file busting with commendations from both staff members and customers alike, Ray finds himself with more and more responsibilities as he climbs his way up the Walmart corporate ladder.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
Having met many wonderful people of retirement age on both sides of the retail counter at Walmart, Ray begins to spend many lazy afternoons back at Garfield Place at the Butterfield Center, where he can bridge the gap between his past at LPK and his future life in retirement.
I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you, so let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please? Won't you please? Please won't you be my neighbor? My neighbor.
Hey, wake up. You're not allowed to sleep in the red room. Wake up. May I have your attention, please? Ray Perszyk and team is waiting in the shuffleboard area.
Not one for idle hands, his burning competitive spirit begins to overtake him, and he soon finds himself challenging other members to a variety of pursuits in which he believes he can excel.
That's high. Well, that's the greatest. You take the whole pot. Jesus, man. What the hell I had that in my hand? It shows it's supposed to throw trumps. Yeah. Oh, yes. Hey, wait a minute. None of this stuff coming out of the sleeve here. Jesus, the man with the golden armor. He looks like Sinatra.
After the company, and he comes in here and cheats the center here with us.
Here we got to pull him out underneath the table. right out of his sock.
With a renewed sense of fair play and friends on both sides of Garfield Park, Ray yearns to protect and serve those who've served him so well over the years.
Hey man, you can't be sleeping on a job. What do you think this is, LPK? You gotta work for a living now, man. Oh, come on. Let's get with it. With your key card. Nobody can get in, the door will stay open. Okay? Got it?
All right, Ray. Hey, did they get my Federal Express package? Have a good weekend.
Hey, Dipstick, what are you doing here? My goodness. This is the 10th time I caught you goofing off. Man, one more time and you're history. I told you no personal calls. I'm sorry, but you ain't gonna make it. I'm just gonna have to take the jacket. It's not like it was the LPK. Okay, that's it. You know, you can't hang around here if you don't work here anymore. So we have to take your place like you go. Sorry, the door's locked. You can't get in.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are at the Bushwood Country Club, awaiting the final round of coverage from the annual BP Open. Spalding, what do you see happening here today?
Well, Danny, forget the golfers. I'd keep an eye on this greenskeeper. Since retiring from his desk job, Ray has become an expert at aerating the greens and irrigating the fairways. Just watch how he grooms this sand trap, Danny. Looks like he's chosen the plastic rake for this job.
It's the gopher.
Fascinated by a newfound love of high-end ordnance, the smell of gunpowder, and the thrill of fair chase, Ray gets himself invited to a favorite pastime of many retired outdoorsmen, hunting and fishing. To show his appreciation, Ray often helps some of his friends save a few bucks by fixing up their hunting vehicles for their next trip. When me and boy Youngin goes fishing for shovelheads, we usually use stink bait. Old Ray, he don't use nothing. Not being one for convention, Ray tries his hand at fish wrestling after seeing a group of Southern boys in the Mississippi Delta do it on the Discovery Channel. Guess that must be one of them there sushi fishes, I guess.
From freshwater to saltwater, Ray's love of the ocean continually draws him to the Keys.
Ray, now that you've retired, you have all this time to spend on the beach.
Ray, all the blood, sweat, and tears were worth it. You built it up from nothing. Look at where it is today. We're so proud of you. Give me here!
But unlike his retirement experience in Cincinnati, Ray seems to enjoy the company of the younger crowd and is frequently known to throw parties at his palatial estate. But unable to sit by and watch others working, Ray pitches in wherever he can to serve his guests.
Splitting his time between his two homes, New Richmond's favorite son is welcomed back by locals year after year. Ray is once again relieved to be paying Midwestern prices and takes the opportunity to do random store checks for packaging he established years ago.
Hi, you must be the founder of LPK. You must be the big cheese. So Ray, was you involved in this Chef Boyardee packaging?
Sir, obviously you haven't paid attention to our sign. I tell you, every time you come through this aisle, this is a express aisle, no more than 10 items, and you always have more than 10. Please, sir, we cannot take it through this aisle. Next time, please go through another aisle. Thank you.
Still stinging from his devastating defeat against Fisher Homes, who sought to develop the beautiful rolling hills of his homeland with affordable housing, Ray decides if you can't beat them, join them, as he attempts to get in on the action.
His playing was simple, but it had so much feeling, and I'll carry that into eternity. Oh, Daddy, can you hear me as I play this old banjo? Can you hear it ring across the great divide?
With the competition fierce and young real estate agents nipping at his heels, Ray decides to embark on a self-improvement program to get into shape and to enhance his stamina out in the field.
Ray? Yeah, Ray comes in here all the time. Water, aerobics, weight room. He's really starting to get in shape too. Looking real good.
how this market continues to just tank. When's it gonna go up? I wish I could get into this LPK. Man, if I were in on the ground floor of LPK like Ray, I'd be sitting pretty right now, that's for sure.
Working up an insatiable appetite after his long workouts, Ray frequents a variety of the local establishments where he continues to make new friends.
Ray's in here every day, has the exact money. They say he don't tip. So he has exact money, so if anybody's with him, you don't have to pay.
He's here at 10:30 and we open up at 11. He's the first person in line every day.
And sometimes we have to make him leave. We think he stuffed his pocket.
Sorry, sir, you just cannot use your coffee mug in here. You just have to leave. You just have.
The dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me. So happy together.
But he always finds himself back at his favorite stop, where he has progressed from loyal customer to a featured flavor to managing the drive-thru and finally employee of the month.
Ray, I'm glad you're coming aboard and you can finally make your own blizzards.
Glad to have you on our team. So now we're going to start you off by showing you how to do the blizzards and the drinks, okay?
Grateful for the opportunity to learn from their elders, Ray is a role model for the young recruits.
Ray, it's your turn to work the drive-thru.
Thanks, Ray.
With his typical sense of optimism, Ray finds himself planning out his next retirement adventure, charting a new course for what he will do to fill his days in retirement.
Tech 555 Victor execute standard Mr. Perszyk, contact departure.
555 Victor departure, thanks.
Experimental pre-hotel Zulu back taxi when you have sufficient room, runway 21 left, you're clear for takeoff.
Ray, so you're going to retire. Let's see. I started 2 years before you, and you're leaving 1 year before me. Now, what's happened? I think it's just a great plan realized. So before you go, I have to say to you, we've shared great experiences, good times, with great people. which has made our experiences rich. Keep up, counselor. Is that Republican or Democrat? That would be it.
Well, Ray, it all comes down to this. A 38-year career. Great working with you most of the time. I wish you all the best. And remember, paper or plastic, please. I love you, Ray. Best luck. See ya.
When I joined the company as a co-op, Ray was already a significant force. This was the early 70s, and Ray was already a hot young designer. He had just come back from Brussels, where he started our Brussels office. I'm not quite sure how far back into the company before that Ray goes, perhaps back to the days of Cliff Shayton for all I know, but he was a full force, heavy duty designer when I first got to know him. Now, we're going to miss Ray around here, and Ray, it might be of interest for you to know that many of us, the Durhams, the Libbies, Daynell, I know, has talked to me about this. We're looking into possibly purchasing some of those Fisher homes that are going to be next to your property. In fact, if anyone else in the company is interested, as Ray tells it, there are plenty of homes available for any who are interested. But seriously, Ray, we will miss you, and in fact, I'm proud to say we are going to establish 5A, the conference room formerly known as 5A, now as the Ray Perszyk Conference Room. Best of wishes, Ray. Thanks.
So Ray Perszyk has announced his retirement. It's 3 weeks from today as we shoot this video. It hasn't quite sunk in for me. I know that this event will generate a ton of good-natured irreverence at his expense, and that's okay. He deserves it. It's a payback time for Ray. For my part, I'm still coming to terms with this, and I may be the only serious voice on this video. My thoughts currently run along the lines of his contribution to this organization over many years and our personal relationship. And it's I can't do much with a 90-second soundbite on all of that, but I have a few comments nevertheless. He had an incredible career. His imprint is all over this company. He's worn many hats and he wore them well. He was our creative director for many years. There are probably many LPK employees who don't realize that. We've worked together for 38 years, and I remember precisely the day that he was hired. I had already been on board for a year when he came along. He was immediately productive, which is more than I can say for myself at that stage of my career. He sat down and he produced great creative, right out of the box, right out of school. Over time, he moved to client services, where he continued to be a star. He was very effective at finding new clients, and that's a huge challenge for everybody in this industry, and it's a huge challenge for LPK. We are indebted to him. LPK is stronger because of Ray. Consequently, I've had a better career because of Ray. It was my great good fortune that our careers overlapped exactly as they did. I couldn't have asked for a better partner. Mostly he's a dear friend. I'll miss him, I'll miss working with him. So congratulations, Ray, and thank you for all that you've done for me personally and for this organization, and we wish you the very best in this next stage of your life.